Welcome back to Blue Line Patriot, ladies and gentlemen. So, an update on the Cybergun gas blowback M4 Colt licensed full metal body airsoft rifle. So, as you guys know, I'm basically making a carbon copy of my duty rifle. So, for example, up here on top, this is my duty rifle that I use for work. I'm qualified with it for my sheriff's department and also the police department that I work at. So what I wanted to do is get an M4, basically just make a copy of what I use for work, and this way I could use it for force-on-force trainings. I can get just general repetitions in, which is nice. I could also, if I can find some local airsoft matches, I could use that too. So basically utilizing the fundamentals and all that sort of stuff. For me, when it comes to airsoft, when it comes to close quarters, a lot of the stuff transfers over. Of course, you don't have the velocity of the ammo, but for close quarters, it's pretty legit. Okay, for farther away, it's a little different. That BB's going to hang out in cyberspace for a little while. It's not really the same, but for indoor close quarter stuff, pieing corners, working out tactics, it's actually a great tool to have. So it's something that I've been recommending to all of my buddies, that do this, that are in this line of work. I say, man, for less than $300, you can get yourself a basic M4. You can outfit it the way your duty rifle is, and of course, hey, we can have some fun with that. So I was able to finally get basically everything on my airsoft rifle that I have on my duty rifle. So that's awesome. Same light, same mount, same foregrip, same rail covers, same optics, same backup sights, same foregrip, same stock. Basically everything on it is the same. The only difference is that this fires, it's select fire, could potentially can fire a full auto. My duty rifle does not fire full auto, which is semi or safe, which is fine by me too. So let me talk about the stuff that I do have on this, and then we'll go forward and talk about some other stuff. So, duty rifle, airsoft rifle. So again, same exact material on either one. So we'll start from the muzzle, work our way back. So of course I have the regular birdcage flash suppressor on my duty rifle, so it's the same here. We're going to work our way back. Now this is a little different. Once I knock the pins out on this, I'm just going to transfer the swivel down here, just like I have on my duty rifle. All right, and that doesn't take much. There's just two pins, two pins on this side to knock out. I'm trying to get the light so I could, there you go. So there's a pin here and there's a pin here. Knock those out, this thing comes out, and we're golden. Now the mount I use, I like the low profile mounts. I'm not a big fan of like wires and having extra stuff. The button for this light is right here. If I need it, turns right on. Okay, so it's not something that I have to like wrap around and press a pressure pad. So it's right here. It works just fine. That's why I use it. So this light here is a what's it called? It's a Streamlight ProTac 2L. Yeah, 350 lumens. So I know there's like 1,000 lumen lights out there. The thing is, for close quarters, for a house, for a room, if you're at your patrol car, say high profile or felony stops, that sort of thing, this is plenty bright enough. You don't want something extremely bright. You don't really want 1,000 lumens, because what happens with that is, you're pieing corners or whatever. Maybe even in a house with like a white wall or mirrors, you get that 1,000 lumens, and what that does, even 500 lumens, can like, not necessarily, I don't want to say blind you, but you're going to see those dots. You really don't want that, when you're, well, to be honest, lives are on the line. You don't want to be screwing up your vision. So 350 lumens, I found personally for me, works just fine. I mean, from 0 to say 150 yards, that light is going to work just fine. Now, the cool thing about this is that it's small, it's low profile. What I do is I wrap 2 layers of electrical tape. I go, you know, this way and then back, and it fits in this mount just fine. And this mount is, let's see if I can get it to focus. I want it to be very, very clear here. There we go. So it's a Veltor SMQ-OE. All right, so if you're looking for what this is to match this light, that's the setup I have here. And it's quick detach. You just throw that lever, you can take it right off. I've been using this exact mount on rifles for probably the last 5 years, and I swear by it. There's really nothing else I'd want to go on or go to. Works just fine. So this right here, like I said, Streamlight. So that's the light. That's the mount. Works just fine. Never had a problem with it. Matter of fact, this is the setup I have on all of my duty rifles. I'm sorry, all of my rifles. Anything that I would consider for using for home defense or self-defense in any way, that's my #1 go-to light right there. So moving back, working our way back here. The rail is a Midwest Industries rail, made in USA. Now the reason I like this rail in particular is because it has this part right here, this rail piece that goes over the delta ring. I think that's really nice. You know, it kind of provides some continuity across the rail the whole way across. So I do like that. These rail guards here are, I want to say that I think they're Magpul. There's some knockoff versions too. But they're basically like a hard rubber. You can cut them to fit. You can basically cut them to fit exactly what you need them to fit into. I think they're freaking great. So instead of shredding your hands and gloves up, you just poke those on there and they're fine. I have them on the bottom, as you can see as well. So I have like 2 of them here. I cut them to fit that just fine. Now right here we have a RVG vertical grip here. I'm trying to focus that for you. RVG, there you go. I think it says on the other side, MOE, Magpul original equipment. There you go. You can kind of see that. So that's a foregrip there. Now when I hold my foregrip, guys, I don't give it one of these. All right, I always hold it kind of like this. You know, I kind of use it like a what are they called? It's like a slant grip. My grip on it is always kind of like a slant grip. So, you know, I don't. I'm trying to show you guys. So yeah, there we go. That's my typical grip on this. It's very nice, very comfortable for me. That's just what I do. So let's move back a little bit here. Of course, standard issue GI mag. I'm going to keep rocking these because I like them. As you can see, always condition 3. If I have a rifle out, it's always condition 3. This rifle's condition 3. This rifle's condition 3. If it's in the, if it's locked away, condition 4, obviously, whatever. Just good habit to get into. So this optic here, guys, is a Romeo 5. It's a Sig Sauer Romeo 5. It has a 50,000 hour battery life. The red dot in it is actually very crisp. I'm going to see if I can get that for you guys to show you. If I can work the angle here. Working the angles, all about angles. Oh, shit. I think, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I can get the angle here for you. Let me try a little bit harder for you. There we go. So let's turn this sucker up a little bit more. For me, I could see it just fine. So there we go. It's a nice crisp red dot there. So it's very nice, very easy to co-witness. Matter of fact, I don't know if it'll show or not, but very easy to co-witness that. So anyway, 50,000 hour battery life. There's, I think, 8,500 hours in a year. So do the math on that. Just divide 50,000 by 8,500. And basically, that's how many years you can keep this on constantly. And the cool thing about this, if you leave it alone long enough, it'll shut off all by itself. It'll save you battery. And then when you pick it up again or move it, it senses motion. It'll turn back on for you. So I always have mine on. I never shut mine off. So you know, with this and my duty rifle. So right now I'm just kind of seeing how long that optic will last. And the cool thing about these optics, guys, especially even for an airsoft market, they're $119 right now. I don't know if those prices will go up. I think they will sooner or later because they are very good quality. But the more I test it, the more I use it, the more I kind of see, you know, I was a little apprehensive because it's so inexpensive, but it is excellent quality. So I'm happy to have it. I'm happy to, you know, I'm confident with it. I guess we'll just see what happens down the line with that. So moving forward here, do have my backup iron sights, just a typical Magpul MBUS, just like my duty rifle. Everything on here is just like my duty rifle, except for my pin guard, whatever, and this ambidextrous safety right here. And in my last video, I talked about I'm a righty. I hate ambidextrous safeties. I think ambidextrous safeties for righties are way overrated. I get that there's maybe a little bit of practicality with them, but to be honest, just flick your safety off. You know, if you're going to transition, just flick your safety off before you transition. You know what I'm saying? You want to hold it like a lefty, just flick your safety before you know, or just practice the other way. So, I don't know. For me personally, I really wish ambidextrous safeties would disappear. I understand for lefties it might be a convenient thing, and that's cool. But for me, I'm a righty. I don't have any use for them. I absolutely hate ambidextrous safeties. But whatever. It doesn't really kill me. But I don't like them. So here's where I ran into some issues. Now with this airsoft rifle. So far, I bought 5,000 rounds. As you can see, I've shot all those in the last, like, couple weeks. So, I have had some trigger time behind this. I actually very much enjoy it, and I'm going to get some shooting footage at the end of this video for you guys as well. I don't have a chronograph, so I can't really give you velocities and whatnot, but it's a fun gun. I love shooting it. Anyhow. Where I had issues, there's no issues with the function, the feeding, the accuracy. Everything's really, really good. If you're outside, you know, you might have different results in your accuracy because of wind and whatnot, but inside it's like, it's pinpoint. I love the thing. But the issue that I did have so far with this gun in particular was right here. With the trigger guard, when I was changing out the trigger guard, this part right here snapped off, and I put it back as best I could, but it snapped off like it was nothing, like it was made of sugar glass. It really pissed me off, guys, because, you know, they sell the, you know, it's supposed to be a, you know, a good quality product, and don't get me wrong, the weapon is fine, but if you're changing that out, you got to be really, really, really careful with this, because like I said, I broke that. All right, and I've changed many of them out on real rifles. I've never had an issue. But yeah, the quality of this metal for the lower receiver is good enough for airsoft, don't get me wrong, but if you're changing this out, you're going to run into problems. And what made it worse, guys, is that the same damn thing happened on the other side. So I was able to, like, push these in and hammer them back in, and these are just held by the pin in there now. So I'm trying to push them down and get them as flush as I can. You know, maybe I'll pack some, maybe I'll you know, do some art and pack that in and smooth it out and make it look right. But for right now, it's definitely one of the things that kind of pissed me off. You know, for like maybe an hour, I didn't like this gun at all. For an hour, I was like, fuck that gun. It's supposed to be good quality. It's shit quality. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. The accuracy is great. It shoots great. It's just, I don't know. I just expected it to be a little stronger than that. And I wasn't banging on this either. Like I said, I've done many of these trigger guard changes. And I've never had an issue. I just, you know, had an issue with this particular airsoft rifle. So now this pistol grip that I changed out too, it did come with like a standard pistol grip, and I did change that out. And the cool thing about these pistol grips, guys, is my biggest reason I changed out the trigger guard on this was because the stock trigger guard had like a you know, a divot in here, and that divot would rub against my middle finger when I'm holding the rifle. As you can see, my middle finger goes underneath there, and it rubs against that, and that's not really that big of a problem, but when you're wearing gloves, it chews your gloves up pretty good. So I wanted to change that out, but what I realized is with these pistol grips here, and this is a SIG, I'm sorry, this is a BCM pistol grip. Here, you can see the BCM right there. Bravo Company Manufacturing. I'm trying to get this to focus for you guys. There you go. You can kind of see BCM at the bottom of that. So anyway, it's a BCM pistol grip. I love it. It's got the storage space underneath there, little latch there. But what it does is it fills in that gap already, which is kind of cool. You know, so you don't necessarily have to change anything out if you want to fill in that gap. Just get one of these pistol grips, and you know that takes care of that gap all by itself, which is really cool. But again, I went ahead and just changed it out just so I have some continuity between this rifle and my duty rifle. Now moving back, the charging handle is a little bit different. On my duty rifle, I want to say it's a medium length BCM charging handle, BCM gunfighter charging handle. So that's basically it right there, BCM gunfighter, and it's got like a more pronounced, I guess, hook on it, if you know, for lack of a better term. So that's what I have on my duty rifle. I can't find a one like that for the airsoft rifle. I'm going to keep looking. I'm sure there's something out there. If somebody actually knows of anything like that, just feel free and put a link in the description for me, or not the description, but in the comments, and I'll search it out and I'll change it out. I think that'll be pretty cool. I haven't tested it yet to see if these are interchangeable, the charging handles, because it doesn't seem like they are, but they might be. So I don't know yet. But once I break it down, once I put enough time in to figure that out, if they're interchangeable, then I'll just get a real one and throw it in there. But they don't feel much different. Now moving back here, we have our traditional M4 style stock. Now why did I not put a cool mag pool or something on there? Well, because I like, you know, I'm a good mix of traditional / modern, you know, modern and retro. That's kind of like my style. I like things like newer but also classy or classic. So that's just my thing. I prefer that over the Magpul stock, the Magpul CTRs. I do have them on some other guns, but I just love the I just love the GI look for this M4, because this is a true 14.5-inch barrel. M4s are 14.5-inch barrels, so you know, to stick with the mil spec stuff, I just kept that stock, because I think that stock with that magazine looks great with an M4 barrel, an actual 14.5-inch barrel. So before we go, I just want to, in conclusion here, really, the gun itself is great. I'd say if you're on the fence about buying one, I'll buy it. I mean, like I said, I've been playing with this for a couple of weeks now. They're about the same weight, except that's a little heavier because I do have the SOCOM profile barrel under there, so it's a real thick barrel underneath the handguards there. You know, I just got it because I thought that was cool. This is a kind of a standard size barrel underneath the hand grips there, handguards. So I don't know if that, well, that definitely makes that barrel a lot heavier. Stand by 1 second for me. I'm going to grab some other stuff real quick and we'll wrap up. So, some things that I would recommend if you do buy this and you're just getting into the airsoft world. A couple of things. So, first of all, you're going to need some BBs. I prefer the 0.25 grams. They're a little heavier. You know, they're not bucked by wind so much. You know what I mean? They hit a little harder. So I prefer these. Plus the bottle's pretty freaking cool. So definitely grab a bottle of those. Obviously, you're going to need some green gas. This is basically the stuff I use. I'm sure there's other stuff out there, but basically all you do is there's a little nozzle right here. You hold this upside down so the liquid goes to the bottom. You push this in and you let it go. Now, I'm only putting a second of gas in here because I'm not going to go, shooting. But what I do is when I store these, I put 1 second of gas in there. That way there's gas inside. And you'll notice when you buy new magazines, or maybe when you get this from the factory, there's going to be a little bit of gas in here, and you might wonder why. Well, the reason for that is because this gas is actually a liquid inside the bottle, and then when it goes inside of here, it turns into an aerosol and expands. Okay, so that aerosol actually lubricates the O-rings inside, so you want that lubrication there to keep your O-rings in good condition. All right, so that's what I recommend. Always put at least 1 second of gas in there. If you're just going to store it for a little bit, great. Now, if you're going to fill it up all the way, this particular magazine likes to take 8 seconds of gas. So what I do is I press it down for 1 second, I take it off, press it down for one more Mississippi second, like 1 Mississippi, out. 1 Mississippi, out. 1 Mississippi, out. Because if I put it in there for 8 or 9 seconds, this gets frozen and I'll lose a bunch of gas. So you don't want that happening. I just like to keep it as, that's just what I do. It works just fine. So that's what I recommend. Maybe 8 seconds of gas in here, and you're going to be good to go for maybe 2 magazines full. So that's cool. Another thing I do is I use this slick silicone. Let's see if it'll focus. I really hope it does. I don't see why it wouldn't. Come on, this is ridiculous. There we go. So a slick silicone spray oil. This stuff's pretty good. So what I do with this stuff is I spray this on my O-rings. Not O-rings, but my little gasket here. Let's see if I can get some light on that, show you exactly what I'm talking about. There we go. So right here, it's like my gasket here. This is like a rubber piece right here. So I spray that a little bit just to keep it lubed up in good condition. I also do the same thing back here for some of these parts. I don't really know exactly what these are or what these do, but I just like to keep that lubricated so that I know that they're not going to dry out and rot out on me. Now I actually do the same exact thing on the inside. There's another gasket on the bolt in the inside. I don't know if, it's not going to show you, but whatever. On the inside there I do that too. And now with the, what do you call it? With the bolt itself, what I do is I do use that, but I do like to get on the rails and stuff with this, silicone grease. So I use a silicone grease just to put that on the contact points of the actual bolt itself. So I use a combination of grease and oil. Personally, I just think that's kind of the best way to go. So that's what I would recommend. And this stuff is not much. I mean, you go on Amazon, just type in Airsoft oil and Airsoft grease. This stuff will pop up, and it's pretty cheap, maybe like $5. All right, so that's about that. Now, another thing I'd recommend also is a speed loader. Now, I have 2 of these. The cool thing about these guys is that these just load your magazines up way faster. Loading this one up, 1 BB at a time, I've done that a lot, and these help way more. So every time basically you press down on this, you get 4 rounds in there, and it's great. So this holds 100 rounds, so this is a 50-round magazine, so I could fill this magazine up 2 extra times with 1 of these. So that's pretty cool. It'll keep you in the game. You can, you don't have to carry a ton of magazines. I just basically just have 2 extras, and I have 2 extras of these, so basically I could just keep filling up, until I'm out. And they're nice because they look like magazines. They fit them right in a magazine pouch or a tourniquet pouch. They fit just fine. So I'd absolutely recommend one of these. And the final thing that I'll recommend, depending on where you play and kind of like what your rules are there. Oh yeah, look at that. That's an R2BS Airsoft grenade, 200 BBs inside. Now, I've had these for a long time. I may do a review. I got a 6-pack of them a while back. I still have them today. They still work just fine. So basically what these are is they're, well, airsoft grenades. You pull the pin, you toss it, you hear a bang, or not a bang, but kind of like a pop, and that pop is just like on a real grenade. It's igniting that fuse. The fuse burns down for a little bit, and kaboom! So basically on this side, which is pretty cool, where is this? There we go. 30-meter distance. So it's basically saying 30-meter minimum distance without safety equipment. So basically, you know, if you're within about 30 meters of one of these going off without safety equipment, you're going to feel it if you get hit by a BB. Sometimes they hit and you don't feel it at all. Sometimes they hit and it hurts like a bitch. So it just kind of depends on what kind of luck you have there. So I actually I don't know if I should say this or not, but whatever. Because of Antifa and BLM, like to block roads and shit, I actually drive around with 2 of these in my car for get out of my way. So, you know, weigh your odds. I'm not saying to do this. I'm not saying not to do this, but, you know, if you're in a situation where you need to get out of it, well, hey, man, I mean, come on. It's basically like a very, very low, less lethal option for anti-riot, whatever. So I'm in law enforcement. I don't mind tossing one of these out my window if I really have to get people off the frickin' road. In a justified situation, but also in a gaming situation, these are pretty cool, you know? Pull the pin, toss it into a room, bam. So these are awesome. They're very expensive, though. I think a 6-pack of these is going to run you maybe like 80 bucks. So do the math on it. They're not cheap, which is why I haven't cracked them all off. But it's pretty cool. Like, this is just a foam outer shell. It's kind of like if you have, you know, those glider planes or whatnot when you were a kid. It's like that, but a little harder. And then this right here is just like a really soft, what do you call it? Like a plastic type of paper like you get on any candy wrapper. And then the spoon here is plastic, so it is pretty cool. It's a very, very low, less lethal sort of a thing, but it's also a very fun, fun extra thing to have for games. So that's basically my setup right there. All the things that I have with that, and I do have one more thing. And that one more thing is my Glock 17. Again, that's an airsoft version, gas blowback, so pretty cool, pretty cool. I do enjoy it. Now, I've had this for a long time too, and this magazine still works just fine. Matter of fact, I have maybe 1 second of air in here, and I do the same exact thing that I do with the rifles too. I put that oil in the gasket up top here just to keep it. Sorry about the light, guys. I'm trying to. There we go. The gasket up top there. I do put oil in that, just, you know, maintaining the gaskets on them. So maintain your gaskets, maintain your O-rings, you know, lube your crap up, keep it ready to go, and you shouldn't have any problems. So, you know, when I do get a force-on-force, now I've used this in force-on-force trainings, which was fun, which is basically why I went ahead and got my rifle, because I realized that, hey, I can get my rifle and do the same thing, and it's freaking awesome. So, I don't remember how much this was. Maybe it was like 200 bucks or something, but if you go to evike.com, you can find all of this there, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. And if you can't find exactly this, there's going to be something super similar. So I would say if you got some extra money and you're in this line of work and you are interested in getting some stuff to do some extra training that's not going to kill your wallet, hey man, just go the airsoft route and find some local matches. And especially on indoor things, you utilize those tactics and get a team together, maybe practice some mount, some quad, quick action deployment, they call that. But yeah, you gotta, sometimes you just have to take the initiative and find your own training, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm actually currently trying to find, man, at least 2 other guys in this line of work to, you know, to have some fun with. So it'll happen. Just got to keep putting it out there to the dudes. I'm sure somebody very soon will take me up on it. We'll get a team together and go tear shit up. So that's all I got for you guys today. Matter of fact, one thing before I go, I'm going to put some shooting footage in here just after I'm done talking, but you you know, if you're interested in t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, that sort of stuff, check out my store. I have a link in the description below. It's called Blue Line Patriot Apparel. If you're, you know, a fan of law enforcement, you know, if you're kind of you know, sick of this woke culture stuff, I have a lot of stuff on there that I think you guys might enjoy. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers. I'll be putting out more stuff in the near future as well. So yeah, check that stuff out. You guys might enjoy it. Holiday season's coming up, so it's a good place to get some gifts for, you know, for friends and family. So that's all I got for you now, guys. Stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you all later. Blue Line Patriot, signing out. All right, guys, so I promised you some shooting footage. So without further ado, here we go. So this is going to be a couple rounds on semi-auto. All right, couple rounds on full auto. And we're out. And when you're out, the bolt locks open. Isn't that awesome? Now to reload this, just to demonstrate the, what do you call it, speed loaders. I'm trying to get it all in frame here. So basically this is your nice little speed loader. What I noticed with these is you really have to push down this little feeding, I don't even know what it's called, feeding device, I guess. So you push that down on top of your magazine right here, and then all you're going to do is just press down on this. I'm trying to get a good angle here, guys. It's actually a little tough, but anyhow, you just push down on that and it feeds those rounds, and every time it feeds, that's and that's I'm not even going to edit that out because that's what could happen. But that's actually the first time I've had that issue, probably just because my angle is so jacked up right now. But basically that's it. Push this down. All right, cool. So that is officially, I believe, topped off. Turns out, guys, I was nowhere close to being topped off, but now our magazine is topped off. So to put gas in that, there's a little tab right here. And let's see if we can do this on camera. So always have the, what do you call it, the bottle downwards, because that's where all the gas is going to go, or the liquid inside is going to go, so gravity will help you. And you just press in just like so. And this is super cold, super cold. So if this could, where my thumb is right here, this tab right here could potentially freeze when you're filling it. So that's why I kind of take it away, give it back, take it away, give it back, you know, because if I pressed it in there the whole time, that might freeze open, and then psh, all my gas comes out. So we don't want that happening. Anyhow, this is about good enough, and we'll get back to shooting in a little bit here. All right, so just like real AR, let's see if I can get that in frame here. There we go. Magazine in. Give it a little slap. Let that magazine release go. And we're back at it. Alright, guys. So what is my official conclusion with this airsoft rifle? Well, I'm definitely going to have to get a bucking upgrade. What it has now is fine. And I think that if I was shooting indoors, I wouldn't have any issue at all. For outdoors, for a little bit more range, I think a bucking may, you know, an upgraded bucking may help. For those of you who don't know what bucking is, basically a part of the hop-up system, and a hop-up is basically your round's going to go down range. It's going to give it a certain kind of a spin. It's going to hop up and then come back down. So it's going to give you a little bit of extended range there. You know, so low hop up is going to come out and right into the ground. High hop up is going to right up into outer space, and you know, you can adjust it anywhere in between there to give you an X amount of range. So from the factory, I don't know if I'm crazy about this yet. The hop up, I should say. Everything else is pretty good. So yeah, if I could just get the hop up dialed in a little bit better. And I guess I have seen that it takes, you know, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 rounds to break in a hop up, which is kind of weird. But, you know, I'll keep trucking along with this, having some fun with it, seeing how that goes. But, you know, if the hop up gets better, then I'm going to leave it alone. If it stays how it is, I'm definitely going to see about upgrading it. Let's see. And to be honest, I mean, you do have to refill the gas an awful lot. I'd say about 1 magazine is okay. You know, your first couple of rounds will be really good, and then after that, it'll drop off a little bit, and you'll have like a certain amount of, you know, velocity, I'll say. But it does seem a little inconsistent, guys. I'm not going to lie. It does seem a little inconsistent with the gas pressure. Sometimes I'll get rounds that'll, you know, be like laser beam, or BBs, I should say. I get BBs that are like laser beams. I get other BBs that are flying off in outer space. I get some BBs that are going to take a left and a right. I guess that's kind of normal, especially for outside, but I want something, maybe an inner barrel upgrade with a hop-up upgrade. Would solve 2 out of 3 of my issues with this. But I will say, when it comes to the gas pressure, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I had high hopes for a gas blowback gun, but I had high hopes for the gas blowback because, I mean, it is awesome. You know, it is awesome. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that aspect is really cool. Its construction is really cool. But I just feel like with an EAG or electric automatic, whatever, the EAG or AEG, I forget what it is. I apologize. But with the electric guns, the ones that take the batteries, I do think that you do get more consistency out of those, and I think you could dial them in a little better. So, you know, I'm going to be messing around with this a little bit more, seeing if it gets any better, maybe a little bit down the line after playing with it a little bit more. You know, maybe it'll get better, and I'll give you guys an update with that. But if not, maybe next year when I get my tax return, I might just buy the same exact gun, but an electric version. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all next time. Blue Line Patriot, signing out. Thanks for watching, guys. Before you go, I want to let you know about my store. The link is in the description below. If you like tactical, anti-woke stuff, this is the place for you. I have lots of t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, and other stuff that make for great gifts, underclothes, gear, and loud and proud statements. Look cool or just troll the snowflakes with Blue Line Patriot apparel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay up to date with my content. But above all, stay safe, stay smart. Blue Line Patriot, out.